Previously on the world's most reliable Corvette ownership, I finally got the Z06 retuned after an entire winter of fixing things that were definitely absolutely 100% going to solve all my problems. And for a brief moment, it worked. Then the clutch started sticking to the floor because apparently the car felt like it was getting too comfortable. So I sent it back to a different shop, replaced the clutch, replaced the slave cylinder, added a billet release bearing, threw in a remote bleeder, and made several more financially responsible decisions. While it was gone, I took the Raptor to Arkansas where it did everything I asked to do without complaining, breaking, or emotionally manipulating me. Then I got the Corvette back, and for approximately 25 minutes, it felt amazing. And then I was literally talking about how good it felt. It died. Oh, the car just died. And just to be clear, this is not tune related. I drove the car for a few days after that and it's never felt better. This is an electrical issue. The car hates to be heat soaked. Under hood temps seem to be my issue. Yeah, it's not running very well at all. It's shuddering. I'm almost home. Let's see if we can limp it home. No tack, check engine light, surface traction, running like absolute trash. The car is just not happy when it's heat soaked. So awesome. And now you're all caught up. PL335, yet again another crank sensor fault. Cleared the code and gave it a start. She's definitely not happy. And I know what you're thinking. It's the crank sensor. It's not the gray one. It's the black one. I understand. It's a brand new crank sensor. This is the new part number that supersedes the old one. It just is what it is. I don't think it's the actual crank sensor. So upon further inspection, I noticed this. This is the only obvious damage I'm seeing so far is from the cable that runs from the starter up to the post in the fuse box. The protective shielding is cooked from the headers. It opened up, exposed the cable to a ton of heat, and my best guess is that once that wire got hot, it started causing some kind of voltage issue. I don't know if that's enough to explain everything, but it's the only thing that I can physically see that looks wrong. The other thing a ton of people mentioned was a grounding issue, so I pulled the engine to chassis ground strap out to inspect it. I unwrapped the factory heat shielding, checked the cable, and honestly didn't see anything super obvious. No crazy damage, no broken wires, nothing that screamed this is a problem. It just mostly looked old. So while I had it out, I figured I might as well upgrade the protection. I rewrapped the entire cable in some DEI heat tape and slid a fire sleeve over it from this company. The OE wire was clipped to this bracket. I'm not totally sure if that's exactly how it was supposed to be routed, but looking at it, it didn't make a ton of sense to me. The way it was sitting, the wire was closer to the header and kind of exposed, so I flipped the clip to the other side of the bracket, which moves the wire further away from the heat and puts a little lip of the bracket between the wire and the header. Since a lot of people brought up grounding issues, I figured while I was already in there, it made sense to add a secondary ground cable from the block to the chassis. A lot of guys do this as a part of the Big 3 upgrade anyway, so it's not some crazy band-aid fix. It's just giving the car another solid path to ground and eliminating one more variable while I'm chasing these damn electrical issues. And because everything near those headers seemingly gets cooked, I heat protected it with some DEI tape and some fire sleeve as well. And I just ran it from the block to the chassis alongside the OE ground. I also want to note that when the car was in for the clutch, I had the guy put a dedicated power cable from the starter all the way to the battery. Put the car all back together, reconnect the battery, and let's go test drive. Voltages look very healthy, but then again, the car is still cold. Alright, so I'm just going to drive it for a bunch, get it up to temp, get it a little hot. It's very hot today, so should be a good test. I guess I'll pick up the camera if anything happens. Or hopefully I'm picking up the camera if nothing happens. We'll see. Alright, well, I've been driving for like 20 minutes. Temps up at 171. My issue a couple days ago was about 30 minutes of driving and the oil temp was at 180. So, but seems okay for the moment. I guess I'll update you in about 10-15 minutes. Alright, she did good. I think the real test will be a hot restart. So let's see what happens. This was one of the healthiest hot restarts I've experienced in a long time. 85 degrees outside, 45-minute drive. Got the car nice and warm. Hot restart. Things are looking good. Good fucking sign. That is, until the next day. Took it out feeling confident, took it to work, and it was hot. Very hot. Which matters because pretty much every issue I've had with this car lately seems to come back to underhood temps. So I figured this would be a good test, and it was, because it broke down. Again, only this time I couldn't limp it home. It just left me completely stranded. So after doing the grounds, protecting the wiring, finally getting a healthy hot restart, and thinking maybe we were getting somewhere, the Corvette ended on its first ever tow truck. I don't even know what to say at this point, so I guess stay tuned for the next one, and we'll hopefully find out what the hell happened this time. I bet the neighbors are real happy.